If you had to think of somebody in Tower of God who embodied the word criminal, who do you think it would be? Because I think for most of us, it would probably be White or somebody like that. Somebody who murdered tens of millions of people, right? Because you've got other kinds of people who are doing bad stuff on the tower, but I feel like killing people is up there on the charts. But after a certain chapter in season 3, there's been this unshakable feeling from certain people that maybe one of our own protagonists is a bit of a criminal. Of course, I'm talking about Yuri. If you don't remember, it's that very famous scene, her return in season 3, when she shows up with her new design and new outfit, and everybody's freaking out, and she's just slaughtering people. Not just slaughtering people, but particularly what appears to be an indigenous tribe of the tower. She's sort of being punished for her actions in season 2, so one of the missions that she's sent on is to go and wipe out this fortress full of people, and they don't stand a chance. And she's not just killing these people, she's ripping them apart. I mean, there are limbs flying everywhere, there's blood painting the walls. Nobody is spared from this attack. It's pretty bad. And the entire time, she's joking around because she got the invite to the marriage competition. She's trying her best to resist the offer, and so while she's slicing people into bits, she's joking around. And it makes the scene kind of interesting because it begs the question, what are we supposed to be feeling from this scene, right? Are we supposed to be laughing with Yuri, or are we supposed to be like a little bit bothered by this? Ultimately, I wanted to make this video because I saw a tweet from DTG Merchant Hajin Sung on Twitter, somebody who's very active on social media with Tower of God stuff, and it was painting this idea that Yuri's a bit of a war criminal, and why aren't more people talking about it? Crazy how Yuri came back in season 3 and immediately committed a genocide against indigenous people, and everybody just soy-faced. What did I do when Yuri came back? It's Yuri! New outfit? Yeah, that's about right. Yuri likes boys, Yuri likes girls. No, Yuri is a jingoistic war criminal and she should face trial. That line alone, whether you agree with it or not, was the inspiration for this video. The interesting thing I think about the scene with Yuri where she's killing these people is that she doesn't even bat an eye, right? I think the fact that she's even joking around while doing this demonstrates how much she probably does this kind of thing. This is not her first time killing a bunch of people. Obviously, she's a part of the Jihad family, and more importantly, she's a high ranker who's been through a lot of crap. This is just the tip of the iceberg, whether you're in the Jihad family or a ranker or even just in the tower to begin with. So yes, Yuri is doing something that is clearly kind of messed up, right? I mean, she's killing a bunch of people. I'm sure some of those people were innocent, right? And she killed them nonetheless. What I do want to point out though, and I think most people know this, but I want to say it nonetheless, is that there are so many examples of people doing this in the story. The Yuri case hits a little different because it's Yuri. It's the lovable princess, you know, that character that kicked bomb in early season 1. We're not used to her kind of character doing this kind of thing, but in actuality, even a lot of the protagonists of our series, Tower of God, our series, it's ours, have done this kind of thing. This is very commonplace, especially within the testing system. You know, we can think about how the very first test that we've ever seen on the second floor was the test of killing 200 people, bringing the number of 400 people to 200 survivors. That test was orchestrated by Lei Ro, and above him, Han Sung-yu, right? And I'm sure Evan Kale has orchestrated a lot of tests like this as the floor ruler. These are characters that we now consider to be protagonists, especially someone like Lei Ro, but how many people have died while Lei Ro just smiles away and says, well, you guys are regulars, that's how it is. Now, maybe regulars are different. They entered the tower, they entered into this kind of competition. Maybe it's not as bad when a regular dies. I find that a bit strange to say. I mean, if we're getting into it, you know, I mean, a regular dying and someone who's not a regular dying, does it really matter? I mean, even the regulars themselves, right? On the second floor, Amigo Chaz, friggin' Alexei Amigo Chaz is sitting on a pile of corpses that he just got done freaking butchering. this guy, freaking the guy with the wings, you know, he murdered a bunch of people and then just sat on top of them like it was nothing. This is a dude who just entered the tower. Kun Ran, who, albeit is from one of the great families, happily murdered an entire train full of people and even comments that he's happy that he was given the chance to do so. During the workshop battle, we can even see the general public is cool with this kind of thing because there's that one scene where Baragov just punches the head off of somebody like cameras are everywhere, there's an audience, and everybody just cheers, right? Nobody cares. It's just like, oh damn, Baragov is so cool. He just murdered that guy. Murder and these kinds of crimes that we consider to be crimes are just... this kind of thing is daily. So yes, let's have a trial, right? Let's put Yuri on trial. But I made a list within 10 seconds here. We got Yuri, Lei Roro, Han Sung-yu, Jin Sung, Amigo Chaz, Ron, Endorsi, Kun, Bum. I think the entire tower at this point has to be put on trial. Luck on Twitter says she can't be a war criminal if there is no law of war. And it's true, right? Like, obviously, if these characters existed in our world, they would be war criminals 10 times over. Especially you, White. I didn't even mention you because you're a given. Someone like Yuri, someone like Lei Roro and Ron. I mean, these people are psychopaths, ultimately, right? But in the world of Tower of God, you gotta look at things differently. And I'm not saying anybody's wrong about saying that Yuri is a bit of a criminal. I mean, compared to our world, compared to our standards. But the point of Tower of God and the point of Bomb's character is that these people are all used to this kind of thing. Bomb walks in and is the only person to have this kind of purity. He hasn't been affected by all the killing and all the crazy stuff that happens in the 10 great families and within the entire tower. He's unaffected by it. He grew up in a cave with one other person, right? He doesn't understand that this is normal, and that's exactly what attracts people to Bomb, and it's what makes his character development interesting as he loses some of that purity. The tower is completely corrupt, and if we judge every single character by our standards, you're not gonna have any good guys, including Bomb at this point. I mean, everybody has done some pretty messed up stuff, and that's what makes Tower of God interesting. We're cheering for people who have done some bad things, and there's a lot of reasons that they've done those things. Maybe not all of them make up for it or sort of excuse it. Just makes it a lot better of a story to follow. Shout out to everybody on social media for getting this conversation going, and if you enjoyed the video or you have something you want to add, I'd love to hear it in the comments. More content coming soon, all that stuff, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.